5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Strange Planet Podcast.
Hey again.
Hey, for the second time.
Because you don't know.
Because you don't know what happened. Welcome to the Strange Planet Podcast, the strangest of all the podcasts on the strangest of all the planets. We are your hosts. This is
Corey James.
And I'm Anthony Zevoteck. I want to throw a quick shout out. Thank you to everyone listening on SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn, iTunes, Google Play Music, and YouTube. YouTube views were jumping out the window.
I knew. I mean, 90% of podcasts are being watched on YouTube.
Yeah.
So I knew that we needed to get on there. Like, it was funny when I was looking at the stats for the last week's podcast. I'm like, man, we're getting nothing this week. And then I forgot that we got the YouTube video, and I skip over there, and it's over 50.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so you combine the 20 that we have on SoundCloud and the 50 that we have on YouTube. Not too bad.
Not too bad at all.
So.
And I will gladly see half of the stats on SoundCloud if I see the other half on YouTube. I think that's fantastic.
Definitely.
Plus, I've got some production things I want to talk to you about after the show.
Awesome.
So, sweet.
I been just taking the link from the YouTube video and just posting it on every video that I watch.
Yeah.
Throughout the week. Any video that I watch, I just go down to the comments and I click paste.
Would you notice what happens when you likes. Do you notice what happens when you search Strange Planet Podcast? The Weekly Planet shows up
below our video.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so
pretty cool.
Well, yeah, it's got Planet in there.
Yeah, well, that's pretty cool.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty cool.
It's not us.
It's pretty cool.
I guess. Once we got more videos on there, more of us will show up. But right now, it's us and then the channel for Weekly Planet.
There you go. That's good company to be in, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. Let's get started. We have nothing on our comics.
Nope.
We have nothing on the radar because Corey beat the hell out of the radar last week.
Yeah, we're pretty much booked till the end of October now.
Yes.
With the radar. But we got some MCU news as usual.
Always with the
Always
MCU
the
news.
MCU news. A little weird this week. Nothing except for what you sent me that we got to talk about again.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. What's his real name? Is that his real name? Wesley Snipes. I feel like that's one of the a name he came up with when he became an actor.
Well, I mean, that stage names aren't, something weird. So, I mean, it could be just a stage name. I'm gonna Wikipedia
Old W. Snipes
and find out what's going on here.
So, Wesley Snipes says in an interview.
He was born Wesley Trent Snipes.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Prove me wrong. That's his name.
Boom. So yeah, Wesley Snipes came out and did an interview last week where he, according to Wesley Snipes, he has been in talks with Marvel about 2 to 3 different Blade projects.
Which, means he could be incorporated in the MCU. It could be a solo.
Could be Netflix.
Could be a Netflix.
Could be a lot of things.
Right. From what he says, this has been in talks for a few years.
Okay, so after that comment right there, I'm calling bullshit on everything.
Right. Well, no, he weirdly, he did a good dance around his words there to make you feel like, oh, well, maybe. Because he says, I've been in talking with executives from Disney and Marvel and all that about these movies, but it is a business, and they have a business to run, and they have a plan for a very long time.
Right.
So they have to make sure that works before we ever start doing this.
From what we know about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they're pretty much set with their movie schedule until 2023.
Yeah.
Wesley Snipes is 56 years old.
Right. And he also said in that interview, they asked him, would you reprise the role? Would you be the one that would be reprising the role? And he said, well, of course, because if it wasn't me, you would have to find an actor who knows how to dance and knows the character and knows the action and the way that the character acts all at the same time. And I'm like,
think
I'm
when he
pretty
says-
sure they could find someone that could dance.
I think when he says dance, he means like fill in the action. Because Wesley Snipes is he has like belts in jujitsu or
Oh,
karate. Like he is a martial artist.
Because he straight up said dance, and I'm like, dance?
I think he means dance is in fight.
Yeah, gotcha.
So I think that's what he's talking about. All right, let's throw the ifs out
If they
there.
were to incorporate it into the MCU,
Yes.
that would have to mean that there is a street level vampire war going on that none of the Avengers or Shield, well maybe Shield, because Shield keeps everything secret,
Maybe.
but none of the Avengers know about.
Right.
None of the public knows about.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the X-Men thing.
Yeah.
Except for X-Men is obviously on a way bigger scale.
Of course.
Because they're very politically driven in their stories. This is more of an underground. But at the same time, I don't know. Would that be cool if there was like this weird underground like war going on with vampires that they didn't know?
We already have an underground Marvel war in the Netflix series. I mean, they had
Yeah,
the
with the
Black
Defenders.
Sky
Oh yeah.
tore apart half the city, and nobody said shit. So it's like, I mean, you could have it on Netflix.
Granted, it wasn't like the poorest little town in all of New York, Hell's Kitchen,
Yeah.
and all they did was knock down a couple buildings.
Yeah.
Even though in that little tiny universe, it felt on a grander scale. In the Marvel universe, it was very tiny.
Tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, they could,
They could. I think it's a Netflix.
if they did it in a Netflix way,
I think it's
and did the
Netflix.
same thing that they did with the Defenders.
Yeah.
That would probably be the best.
Yeah.
We've said that before.
I think it's Netflix, and I don't think it should be Wesley Snipes.
No. So what would make sense is if it was Blade's son
Yeah.
or an apprentice,
Yeah.
so that Wesley Snipes still gets to be
Be
in there
Right.
and make some money and show his face, training maybe,
Yeah.
or showing the dude the ropes, or
Yeah.
whomever it be. I could see that with him being as old as he is and probably when it's going to happen.
Yeah. See, we got to talk about when it's gonna happen, because I think that's an important thing.
Well, Netflix is running low here,
Yeah.
and they're trying to start building back up now that Disney's pulling.
Right.
So, and that's their one ticket to keep their foot in the Marvel, because they're gonna lose all their blockbuster movies now.
Right.
But they still have a contract for
When's that contract up?
for the bigger blockbusters.
No, for the Marvel
I would assume
Netflix shows.
those are theirs.
Yeah, I mean, well,
I don't know how many they can add on. I'm assuming that has to be negotiated as it goes. But
'Cause, I
like
mean, when they sat
Daredevil,
down-
Jessica Jones, all them, those are
What do you-
Netflix.
What was
property.
when did the first season of Daredevil come? 2016 or 15?
16.
16 or 15. It was one of those two. So I'm sure they sat down at the initially and said, like, you've got Daredevil, Punisher, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist. You do whatever you want, and you have this amount of time to do it, and then we'll see what happens. If we want to buy back the characters, we're gonna do it.
I'd be curious to see if there was a time limit, because it doesn't seem like there's a time limit.
It
Seems like they're
honestly,
taking their time pumping. I mean, they are doing them quick,
Yeah,
but
well,
with how many they have,
We've had Jessica Jones season 2, Luke Cage season 2, and Daredevil season 3 coming out
plus
this
the
year.
Defenders season.
Well, this year
Right.
alone, I'm
Oh, yeah,
talking.
this year, yeah.
You know, we have 3 series.
So maybe they are trying to rush to get it
Maybe
out.
they are trying to
Maybe
rush.
when Disney pulls the blockbusters, that means that those get pulled too.
Could be.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Because I was always under the assumption that we would never get the Daredevil in the MCU, in the actual MCU, because of it already being.
I think once
That.
I think once I think once the rights leave Netflix, which I feel like we're about 2 years away from that, I would love to see Daredevil pop up in a Spider-Man movie. Like, that's what you want, isn't it?
It's too far down the line.
I know.
Like, I just feel like you're dragging these movies too long.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Spider-Man just feels like that. Just because we've had so many, I feel like this Homecoming thing's gonna really, the trilogy that they're doing is really gonna drag me.
Yeah.
Just because it feels like it feels like I've already seen Spider-Man so many times because I have.
Yeah.
So like, but it would be amazing because they were always in the comic books together. They always met up. They're in New York together.
Yep.
I mean, of course they're gonna cross paths.
Yep.
Punisher
Peter
cross
Parker
paths with Spider-Man all the time.
Peter Parker gets arrested and Matt Murdock is his lawyer. I wouldn't be opposed to that.
No, dude.
So anyway, back to Wesley Snipes. I
think he's talking out of his ass anyway.
I think he's talking out of his ass too.
I think he's full of shit.
I think he's full of shit too.
I don't think he has ever talked to an executive from Disney.
I think he is saying this to get the fans buzzing,
right.
to then get Disney being like,
Because
oh,
if
well, maybe
everybody's
we
going,
should do something.
Yeah, I want that. Yeah, I want that. Disney's like, oh, they do want that. Maybe then we'll negotiate it. But
Okay, so I think that the best place we should shoot for, let's say that a Blade fourth movie or series, or where Blade is apprentice or has an apprentice or a son, let's say it does happen. I think it's going to be on the Disney streaming service.
yeah, that would make sense.
That would make this
because
most
they just
sense.
bought Fox back. They
Right.
just got Blade back, right? Blade was Fox's, right?
Yeah, I think so.
That's probably why there's finally talk about it.
Right.
So if Disney just bought Fox, rights back, got Blade back, most likely it's going to show up on the Disney streaming service.
My hope, you know how, and I told you this a while ago, in Thor Ragnarok, when Korg picks up that three-pronged spear, I want to see Korg and Blade
Taika
taking
Waititi
down vampires.
was never once in his sporadic, what do they call that when you just come up with your lines?
Improv.
His sporadic improv that he did for every one of Korg's lines, because none of Korg's lines were written.
Right.
I guarantee you can tell.
Yeah.
When he ran over and said, "Piss off, Ghost."
I love that.
He didn't.
I was just thinking about
that.
that.
He did not write that down. That was just him walking into a booth and being like, "This would be hilarious," because that's who he is.
All right, see you later, new Doug.
Yeah, like he did not write any of his lines for Korg.
True.
He was just going with it, and he's a really funny dude.
Yeah.
So like,
All right.
I don't think that vampire thing was ever a layered depth of thought.
What if we get Blade, Wesley Snipes' Blade, being like, what if there's a planet full of vampires?
I was gonna say, what would Blade even do in the MCU?
Wasn't Blade set in Los Angeles?
I have no idea. I don't even know anything about Blade.
I think I saw it once.
I didn't even see any of the movies.
I've not seen the third one.
I've seen pictures of him in his black, like Matrix-looking get-up, but that's about it. I've heard the third one's not that great.
Would this character be better utilized in a Morbius movie?
Well, that's where I thought,
Yeah.
when we had talked about Morbius, I thought we would end up seeing Blade, because Blade does cross paths with Morbius a ton.
Obviously, right.
But if Morbius is a Sony property and they're going to keep it Sony,
Yeah.
and Blade's going to end up going to the Disney streaming service, we won't see that.
I really
You're pulling characters away from each other even more that are supposed to be
Right.
together. I mean, we already got Spider-Man and Venom pulled apart,
Yeah.
which
Who cares anymore?
I read this week that like 90% of people believe that we are going to see Tom Holland in Venom. And I don't know where they're getting it from.
90% of people are wrong.
The internet really thinks, I think it's like a huge collective of wishful thinking.
Yeah.
Because I can almost guarantee you are not going to see him.
Yeah.
If we do, I'll poop my pants.
Agreed.
And I'll be really happy. But I don't think that you're right. If you are, then that would set up Blade to be in Morbius, or Morbius
Right.
to be in a Blade movie.
Right.
Which would be one of the only ways I could see Blade fitting in, because without vampires, what is Blade?
I know. It's just nothing. It really is nothing. And especially in the MCU that's been built.
Right.
Like, we've been 10 years
How you
building
gonna
a
drop an
universe,
MCU movie
and
in
now
there
all of a sudden there's
and be like,
vampires.
Look at all these vampires. Forget about everything else you've seen for the past 12 years.
Yeah. We've even gone to, like, Eastern Europe in Sokovia, and there was not a vampire to be seen. I just don't know. I don't know. Moving on in MCU news. Hey, Dave Bautista's at it again, isn't he?
Yeah.
This son of a bitch. I tell you what, I love it, though.
If we can't talk about Gunn, we gotta talk about Batista.
I love it. I think it's fantastic. And we don't really have to talk a lot about it.
You think it's fantastic that we're not gonna get a 3?
I think it's fantastic that Batista's holding his ground.
He is.
I think it's...
He was not happy to begin with,
Right.
and people keep drilling him about it, and
Yeah.
I think people are making it worse.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Every time they ask him about it, of course he's going to tell the truth. Of course he's not going to sugarcoat shit. And what was it?
Gunn came in
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago after all that stuff to negotiate for the
contract,
script.
right.
And then after that, Disney released that they were sticking with what they decided. He is not being rehired.
Yep.
And from what I understand, the script is not being used.
Yeah, well, I think, like I said, I think they lowballed him, and he said, fuck you guys,
so
they put the movie on hold.
And then Batista was asked again what he thinks about that, and he said, you know what? I don't really even want to work for Disney.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm going to come back.
Yeah. What does that mean?
And you know what's going on right now?
No, what?
Reshoots for Avengers 4. Tons.
Really? I did not hear about that.
Today, I read that a ton of stuff is being reshot for Avengers 4, including a butt ton of more Black Panther / Wakanda scenes are being added.
Oh, well, that's obvious.
And I would assume...
The death of Drax?
If he's already... I mean, he's probably got a lot... I mean, it's his boss. It's his contract. He's got to be talking to them.
Right.
If he's not coming back for anything, I'm sure they're going to have to kill off a lot of the characters, depending on who's coming back and who wants to come back and who isn't coming back.
And even if the Guardians franchise is going to live on past Avengers 4, because they might just cancel.
I think Guardians could live on without Drax.
Yeah.
Personally,
Agreed.
like I said, I think
We've
Drax
said that
was a pushed aside character.
Yeah.
Not utilized the way he should have been. But without the script and without Gunn, it's going to be hard.
You know who I think I would be happy if Drax / Dave Bautista left, because I'd stand by what he's saying. I'm a little bit worried about the direction of Adam Warlock at this point.
I don't know if we're going to see Adam Warlock.
And see, I think that's our problem.
No one has been talking about him.
Yep.
Nothing's ever been said about that
Nobody's
scene.
been cast about
We literally
for Adam
saw
Warlock.
one tiny little scene about that, and he's supposed to be a massive character in this story arc, and we're almost at the end of the story arc, and we haven't seen anything about him.
I don't know. It's crazy.
I think they've come too far, they've gone too deep, and they made a couple mistakes, and with how much they've built, a tiny little mistake like they did, stuff's going to start falling apart.
Is anybody at Disney kicking themselves in the ass right now?
I mean, the amount of money that's flowing in that place, probably not.
Yeah. Those bastards.
I mean, fucking throw a dart in any direction, and they're probably making money off of that.
Yeah.
You have no idea the amount of money those fuckers are making.
Yeah.
Like,
True.
it's crazy. Every year you hear about all the Disneyland and Disney World and all that stuff upping their prices. Everything's more expensive. They don't pay their employees barely anything. They're adding more attractions.
They're bumping their employees up to 15 an hour next year.
Oh, okay.
So
That's good.
they are making moves there.
I saw
But that's only because
Bernie
they got
Sanders
shit on by fucking Bernie Sanders.
talking about him, saying like this lady's got like 6 kids and she's living in her car in the parking lot, working there, making absolutely no money. And I was like, well, maybe that'll make a difference then.
I mean, I don't know. You want to work in the land of dreams, you kind of got to take the dreams as they come. I don't know.
When my sister-in-law came back and handed me a Star Wars rubber figure set, and I happened to turn it upside down and see that it was like $27, $28, and half of them someone took a pen and drew the lines on because the lines weren't there when they molded them. Kind of gives you an idea of like what you're going to pay for when you go there.
Just a little bit. Dave Bautista, I hope you get what you want. I really do.
I already thought Drax was going to die, so...
I know, we were going into Infinity War thinking Drax was going to die.
I think a lot of people are going to die in Avengers 4, so if you didn't already have the scenes, maybe that's why he's so okay with saying outright, I don't want to do this anymore, I don't want to do this anymore. Right. If he did have a big part written for more movies, maybe he wouldn't be so vocal about it. Or,
True.
I don't know. But reshoots are going on right now, so if they're going to kill him off, they're going to do it now.
Reshoots in September when the movie's set to release in April.
One of the biggest movies of all time.
Do you think it's going to get pushed back?
No.
Think we're going to get a
They will never.
Think we're going I mean, it got pushed. Did it get pushed or did it get moved up?
Avengers Infinity War?
Yeah, it got moved up. It was May 5th.
Yeah.
It got moved up to April 27th.
They would never push a movie that's going to make them gajillions of dollars back. Oh, that'd be the worst.
That'd be the worst. Hey, there's a video game coming out in 2 days. You excited about it?
Oh, 2 days?
Yeah.
It comes out already?
Yep.
What are we at?
Spider-Man PS4.
Oh, yeah. I just watched a bunch of playthroughs.
Yeah.
Looks effing amazing. Like, I haven't found one person. Last week there was this like thing that was going around that they like were dialing back the graphics. It was rumors that people had seen footage and then seen footage from now of the gameplay and it looked worse. And people were saying that there's this big conspiracy because they don't want the system to run as good as it could because they want to push the new system, which is a whole nother effing thing that I haven't read about, but I'd like to look into because that's kind of interesting. I never thought about that.
That is interesting. They could definitely. I mean, Apple does it with their iPhones all the time. As soon as a new one comes out,
electronics are like that, man.
Yeah.
They want you to buy a new one within 6 months. Each year, it gets less and less of a time distance between them wanting you to buy a new one.
Yeah.
And consoles are no different.
Right.
Before we had 6 years to buy a new console. Then it went to 3 years.
Yeah.
Now they're dropping them within a year of each other.
Yeah.
Saying, oh, you got the PS4, well, we're coming out with the PS4 Pro. Well, you didn't come out with anything for the PS4.
Right.
And what's wrong with it? Like,
nothing.
Anything that has come out looks amazing. They just came out with God of War. It was freaking amazing.
Yep.
So, I don't doubt that actually happens.
I don't know. We'll see.
But the gameplay that I did watch looked so amazing and so fluid.
Yeah.
The swinging and the flips and the grabbing onto the walls and just,
I'm picking up my copy Friday.
Nice.
I've pre-ordered. I got my extra outfits. I got my map. I got all the good shit. Picking it up Friday. Boom. I'm super excited.
From what I've heard, it's the perfect not only Spider-Man game, but the perfect Peter Parker game.
Nice.
That's what I've heard from the reviews so far.
Sick.
As everybody keeps saying, it's what you've always wanted out of a Spider-Man game, and everybody keeps congratulating Insomniac.
Yeah.
Good for them, man. Like,
yeah, right.
They've created some of the greatest, my favorite games of all time.
I saw a headline today for an article that says superhero game finally done right, and I was like, yep. And it's like, I know like people will say like, oh well, Mortal Kombat versus DC was great. Well, that's not a video game. That's a fighter game.
Side-scrolling fighter games are different.
Right. When you have a whole world open up, you can go anywhere. It's GTA style, and it's fucking Spider-Man. That's a superhero game.
Right.
So this weekend I'm getting my copy. Not this weekend, but next weekend. I'd love to have you guys over for to play some Spider-Man.
All of you.
All of you.
Everyone listening.
Everyone listening.
Is invited to Anthony's
Comment
house.
in the YouTube section. Comment on the SoundCloud. Ask me for my address. Maybe you'll get it.
You're coming over.
You're coming over.
Spider-Man.
Woo! Nice. Hey, guess what? That was MCU news.
That was the MCU news, if you consider the game to be in the MCU, which, weirdly, anything that's Marvel
I know,
now,
we kind of just...
everything that's Marvel, everybody goes, it's the MCU now.
Yeah, well, we should just start calling it Marvel news. Because it is...
It's true.
We have been lumping some non-MCU things
Well,
in there.
if you think about it, the Spider-Man from the video game has now been confirmed to be in the Spider-Verse, and the Spider-Verse movie has weirdly been confirmed to be in the MCU.
Yeah.
Even though I don't see how that's gonna work.
Speaking of, isn't Nick Cage in the Spider-Verse movie?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. He's playing Spider-Man Noir.
Right.
Correct. Last night we were watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and there was a whole episode where they were talking about Nicolas Cage movies. And Jess asked me, she goes, "Is Nicolas Cage a bad actor?" And I'm like, all right, well, here we go. I'm like, and his Pandora's box opened up. I was like, Nicolas Cage has some hammy
in the box.
Has some hammy performances, and he really does it up. Now, yeah, the last 6 years, Nicolas Cage has done some shit-ass movies, but last year he did Mom and Dad, and that was really good. This year he's doing that new movie we're super excited for.
Yeah, what is that one called?
I forget what it's called.
Or...
Maggie.
Is that what it's called?
That's it. And I was like, Nicolas Cage is hit or miss.
Yeah.
Like, his old shit is great.
I don't even know, like, what it is about his movies that you either really like them or you really hate them.
Yeah.
Like,
what's your favorite Nicolas Cage
Con Air
movie?
Isn't a bad movie.
No,
like,
it's not.
I'll watch Con Air.
I love Con Air.
But I make fun of Con Air.
It's that movie you like to watch because it's over the top and
Family
ridiculous.
Guy or Family Man or whatever that one is, where he keeps it's basically Groundhog, but he hates his kids and his wife.
Wasn't that called Weatherman? Was it called Weatherman or Family Man?
No, there was Family Man, Weatherman, Matchstick Men.
Oh yeah.
He went through a phase of men and
I like Matchstick Men.
Yeah, he went through.
What's your favorite Nicolas Cage movie?
Oh, I don't know. Probably Lord of War.
Ooh, that's a good pick. That's a good pick. Mine's Leaving Las Vegas.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I mean he won an Academy Award
the one
for
where
that.
he's wearing it was a really early one, where he's wearing a Hawaiian shirt and his hair is longer.
Raising Arizona.
Raising Arizona.
Damn, that's a good movie too. I totally forgot about Raising
that's a good
Arizona. That's still my pick is Leaving Las Vegas, but damn, Raising Arizona.
I have
shit.
Lord of War. Lord of War is one
Lord
of
of
the
War's
top
awesome.
Nicolas Cage.
Good
movies.
shit.
Gone in 60 Seconds.
Yep.
That's not a bad one.
Not a bad one at all. Even The Wicker Man is fun to watch because it's so bad.
Yeah, that's what I feel like when I watch Con Air. I'm like, at the time, Con Air was a great movie.
Right.
But every year, it gets more and more fun to make fun of.
Yeah, agreed. John Malkovich kills in that movie. So does Steve Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi's in that.
Damn.
Yeah.
So does Ving Rhames.
Yep.
Motherfucker. All right, DC news. Here we go. Hey, so the DC Universe streaming service is coming out soon.
Talk about getting me hyped.
Talk about getting me hyped.
I don't even want it, and I'm like, you're making me want it.
So they released a little trailer, a little, I guess a little trailer.
Basically, yeah.
Advertising their streaming service. And boy howdy, for fuck's sake, it's gonna have some great shit on it.
I thought about when I was watching it, I'm like, I should have took notes on what was flashing before me, because there was so much stuff that you don't think about.
That's the thing, you're gonna have all the Batman movies, every single Batman movie. You're gonna have Wonder Woman television show starring Linda Carter.
All the old shows.
All
the old Flash show,
Yep.
the old Wonder Woman show, the old Batman show.
Yeah.
All those.
Well,
Batman animated?
The old Flash show is actually a movie.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. There was a Flash movie in 1990.
I was going to say, they showed a cut of that.
But it's really cool to see. Like, it's really cool that that's going to be on a streaming service. animation.
Constantine, the
Constantine.
HBO series
Yep.
is on there.
It's going to have digital comics out the ass.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what, people? You get 3 months free
If you pre-order.
if you pre-order. Did
That's
you pre-order
what
yet?
No, I'm not going to. I can't.
I think I'm going to pre-order and then cancel my thing after 3 months. I can't pay. I can't do it. I can't do it. I have so
Unless-
much other shit.
I know, that's my problem, is
Yeah.
I have so much other shit, and with the Disney streaming service coming soon,
I'm
probably
gonna
gonna
want that
drop on
Disney.
that.
I'm gonna want that Disney.
I already
streaming
thought about
service.
canceling my Netflix here within the next month to
If
move
it-
on to something else.
I might invest in buying The Office on DVD because that's what I watch on Netflix.
Yeah, me too.
Like anything else, I'm watching on Hulu.
There's probably 2 things I watch religiously on Netflix: The Office and Forensic Files.
And the Marvel shows, but you don't have to
I
watch
watched
those
Daredevil
ridiculous.
and I
yeah.
watched Punisher. I
Yeah.
have not watched the 2nd season of Jessica Jones. I didn't watch the full first season of Jessica
I
Jones.
didn't care for the first season of Jessica Jones, even though the villain was great.
Yeah, the villain was badass.
So
Yeah, I can't bring myself to actually pre-order, even though they keep piling on the things to make you want to pre-order.
I know I kind of want to go on a web. I wish there was like a website where they had an entire list of everything.
That's what that
they're gonna-
trailer did really
I
fast.
know.
Like, that's what I was waiting for, to hear what all would be on
Right.
there. And that trailer was like flashing shit that I didn't even know what it was at some points. They were showing clips of shows. I'm like, the hell was that?
Yeah,
that
they're gonna have
looks cool.
Birds of Prey, and they're gonna have
Titans.
and they're gonna have just crazy shit. And even the Birds of Prey series from the early 2000s. Like, who the
Stuff you
fuck
didn't even-
watches
yeah,
that
stuff
shit?
that you didn't even know existed.
Like, what the hell?
Is gonna be on there.
I love it.
It's so obscure.
I love it.
Yeah. But
DC Universe, September 15th. Pre-order now to get 3 months free. I think I'm gonna pre-order now. I want to get that 3 months
say,
free.
read before you pre-order, because
Yeah.
they'll tell you straight up, like,
If they're gonna charge me after the 3 months
right,
are up.
if you pre-order and get the 3 months free, are they going to still charge you for, maybe it's like a year subscription on top of that? Like, if you pre-order for the year of subscription, like I was saying that they
Right.
wanted most people to do,
If I
then
can
they'll
pre-order,
give you 3 months
if
free.
I can pre-order for a year and it'd be a little bit cheaper than what I would think, plus I get 3 months free, then I might get a year of DC Universe. I see, because it's interesting to have all of that in one place.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. Especially the comics.
Yeah, no, that's another thing, and that's what I was
that's
if I
huge
can jump into the digital comics and I can
The
read
backlog on
Green
that, man.
Lantern and Green Arrow in the episode where the Green Arrow's sidekick becomes a heroin addict, and I can fucking read
Oh,
that
yeah.
episode or issue. Fuck yeah, I'll do it.
Yep.
Fuck yeah.
All the new Doomsday Clock
Mhm.
is going to be uploading on there as it goes. Like, the backlog on
Well, that's another thing.
Watchmen.
You got the side DC projects too, like V for Vendetta, and what's the other one I'm thinking of? And of course, you got Watchmen.
Right, Watchmen will be on there.
Man, crazy.
Yeah, when I saw Constantine, the show, I've been wanting to watch that since I found out it was a thing.
Yeah.
There's an actual Constantine
I know. It's
series.
available on a streaming service.
I think it's Amazon,
I think it is Amazon or
but I don't have Amazon.
Crackle.
It might be Crackle.
It might be Crackle.
Crackle's free, isn't it?
Crackle is free. You just have to sign up, but it's free.
I think it was Amazon, because
Crackle's got good shit.
you can actually... I remember getting Crackle when I lived at the other house.
Yeah.
Like 4 years ago,
Yeah.
because it had a lot of anime on it, and I wanted to watch something. And I was like, man, this is shit. Like, they got nothing on here.
Crackle's got
And
good
now
stuff.
you see it, and everybody's like, actually, they got pretty good
yeah,
stuff.
They got pretty decent shit.
It's like Voodoo.
Yep.
Like when you get on Voodoo,
get on the free
they just put all the
section.
Matrixes on Voodoo.
That free section on Voodoo is bumping.
Yeah, and
Crazy
that's free.
awesome shit. All right, so moving on. Hey, did you ever hear about Alec Baldwin being cast in the Joker movie?
We didn't talk about that last
We didn't
week.
talk about that last week. Oh yeah, we did.
He bailed on that
Yep.
real fast.
He's out. Alec Baldwin has left the Joker project, where he was cast as Thomas Wayne. And let's be honest, I feel like somebody who cast him, or Alec Baldwin accepting the role, didn't realize the timeline when this was all going down. Like, and Alec Baldwin's already like 66 years old. So how are you going to have a 66-year-old Thomas Wayne with no son It just doesn't make sense.
Well, from what I read, there is a Joker origin where Thomas Wayne causes him to be the Joker.
Okay.
I read that, or I maybe saw it on a video or something on YouTube. I don't know that story.
Yeah, I don't either.
And from what we've heard, this is supposed to be mainly based on the Killing Joke Joker origin. Maybe Baldwin didn't realize, or maybe they were like, I don't know. I don't know what happened, but man, did he bail fast.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
That was a week.
Last week, they said he cast. This week, he said he's done.
Yeah.
So maybe it was the backlash on the internet, which
Maybe.
has a lot to do with the influence on these actors nowadays.
Maybe. I don't see Alec Baldwin being the kind of guy influenced by what idiots are saying on the internet. I don't know. That's just me. That's just how I see Alec Baldwin. Are you I mean, we're obviously happy about this.
Yeah, that's probably for the better. I would like to hear that Thomas Wayne will not be in the movie, period.
I know,
Like,
right?
They said Baldwin was out, and I'm like, well, great. Now next week I'm going to hear someone else is casted as
They
Thomas
got Ben
Wayne.
Kingsley cast as Thomas Wayne. Like, did he just get older? Hey, speaking of Batman.
Who's cast as Batman in the Joker movie?
I know.
Like, you're going to have at least one scene in there to give him his origin. Like, that's the whole reason that Joker feels that rivalry and that connection with Batman is because Batman created him.
Are they just gonna change the whole fucking?
I don't know. I have no idea because the gangster side of that story, where it's got the noir feel and it's black and white half the time, I was really looking forward to.
Yeah.
And I hope they stick with that. But if they don't put Batman in it, I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know any of the other random Joker origins that were thrown
There's
out
a
there.
million.
Right. So,
hey, speaking of Batman,
this is just something that
this
people
is just
talked about.
This is totally
what everybody
nothing.
wants.
This is nothing. But Mr. Sunday Movies did a video this weekend kind of outlining a return for Michael Keaton to
I've
play
seen
Batman.
this way before.
Okay.
I've been seeing this since Michael Keaton did a graduation speech at a college.
Yeah, where he said, "I'm Batman."
And at the end of it, he said, "I am Batman."
Yeah.
And after that, I have read nonstop ideas of how Michael Keaton could reprise his role as Batman.
Yeah.
Because everybody now is agreeing that he was the best Batman.
I mean,
It's
when
weirdly
you look
becoming like
when you look back, and I mean, let's think of all
Out
of
of
our
all of
Batman:
them?
Adam West, Michael Keaton,
He
Val
might be the
Kilmer,
best.
George Clooney, Christian Bale.
I
Ben
like Val
Affleck.
Kilmer's, but Michael Keaton still nailed it.
I like Val Kilmer too, but Michael Keaton still nailed it. I would honestly put it Keaton, Bale, Kilmer, Affleck, Clooney, West.
I'm down with that.
I put West a little
West
higher.
is probably better. He's better than Clooney.
All right. So let me do that again. Keaton.
Clooney wasn't bad, but
No.
he wasn't anything.
Right. It
Like,
was.
he
It
wasn't-
was George Clooney.
Yeah, it didn't
It
remind
was-
me of a Bruce
It was George
Wayne.
Clooney dressing up as Batman.
Right.
So you got Keaton, Bale, Kilmer, West, Clooney. No, wait. All right, did it wrong again. Keaton, Bale, Kilmer, Affleck, West, Clooney. Yeah, I did it.
Right.
All
Bad
right.
nips at the end.
Woo!
Yeah.
So, all right, but the basic outline is
This
that-
is fantastic.
yeah, this is a
This
great
is
idea.
the way you bring Keaton back
This
in.
is it. So DC is doing their non-sequential, anything goes DC movies now. So you bring back Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne, mentoring Terry McGinnis as for Batman Beyond.
Boom.
That's
I am effing
I'm
down
fucking
with that.
in. I'm fucking in. I remember when Batman the Animated Series stopped and Batman Beyond
and they gave us
started.
a sequel animation that was just the perfect continuation of one of the greatest animated series of all time.
Agreed.
And Batman Beyond was fantastic.
Yeah.
I think there was maybe only like 2 seasons of
I
it,
think maybe one.
Was there only one?
Yeah, it's something. It was really short.
but
Yeah.
it was really good.
It was WB Kids. That's when it was fucking crushing it.
Yeah.
And I think that is an amazing idea.
Keaton's got the age,
Yep.
the look.
Yep.
He still loves Batman.
Yep.
He's
Still
just
can
as
act.
Vulture.
He can act.
He did
Fucking-
fantastic.
Yep.
I would be so on board for him
Backflips.
mentoring a little Terry McGinnis, which I did not know that Terry McGinnis is technically Batman's biological son.
Yeah.
Because one of the villain chicks stole Batman's
DNA.
and made him. Which I did not know that part.
I didn't either.
That's interesting
Yeah.
to hear. Which that was from, I heard that Mr. Sunday Movies.
Right.
So
Hey,
I'm down with that, man.
I love that
If
idea.
you're bringing Keaton back, yeah.
Yeah.
Because the age would be perfect to nonchalantly, not directly say this is a sequel Batman movie to all the Batmans.
Yeah.
Like we got the Rise
Right.
in the Dark Knight trilogy, where he was a little bit older and he was beaten up and jaded.
I honestly, and I think that was one of the best points that Mr. Sunday Movies made, is that they totally, like, that movie fucked everything up by just throwing a shitty goatee on Christian Bale.
Making it tell us that he's older.
Yeah.
But he's basically the same.
Like,
age
it's
as he always
it's 4 years later, but now he has a goatee.
See, I liked that play on the whole thing. I love that trilogy, and everybody doesn't like Rise, and Rise is my favorite out of those three.
Ooh, really?
Yes. And the reason is because it's so grounded in real life.
Rise?
Getting beat the shit out of and doing what Batman does in real life
Rise
would cause you to be that way that quickly.
You like Rise more than you like The Dark Knight.
Oh, yeah. Dark Knight has never been my top.
Really?
I like Begins better more than I like Dark Knight.
Interesting.
I like them all three. I love them all
I love
three.
them all,
I love
too.
them as a whole.
I love them all, too.
But for some reason, I don't know if it's more because it's been played out. I've seen it so many times.
It is the most
I've
popular, so
But
it is.
I've seen the other ones just...
I have the first two.
I have all three.
I
And I've
don't
watched
have
them
the
a
third one.
gajillion times.
Yeah.
And I love Rise. I love the stakes.
Yeah.
Like, The Dark Knight was a Batman movie. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not a Batman movie we haven't had before.
Is The Dark Knight Rises a Bruce Wayne movie?
It's a Bruce Wayne movie, but it's also a Batman movie we haven't had before.
Yeah.
Even Begins felt like, okay, we're getting back into Batman again. Here we go.
Seen it, done it.
Rise was something I've never seen on the screen before, and I liked that they took it to a realistic place.
Right.
Doing the things that Batman does in the comic books in real life would cause you to destroy your body quickly.
Yeah.
So to see him only 4 years later,
Yeah.
and barely being able to walk, them telling him he has no cartilage in his knees and stuff, and it's just he destroyed his body.
Yeah.
I was like, yes. And watching Bane snap his back over his knee and dent his head in.
I mean, I love that scene because it's comic book. That's comic book. I mean, that's what we saw. Comic book. That's legit shit.
Legit shit.
Legit shit. Oh, I love that. Legit shit. That's catchy. So that's your DC news, people. Put it in your pipe and smoke it.
Kind of.
Well, we got.
I got something else that I added.
Go ahead and give it
to you.
Yeah, I got it.
Because I don't know dick about The Witcher. I never played the game.
It's a video game.
It is a video game.
Okay.
And people love it.
Let me see if
And today,
talk about some stuff while I look it up.
right now, like right before we recorded this podcast, it was announced that I guess everybody already knew that The Witcher was going to be a Netflix series. I didn't. Henry Cavill, Superman, is going to be playing the main protagonist.
Geralt.
Yeah, I was saying Geralt, but I guess it's probably Geralt.
Geralt.
He's going to be playing that character in the upcoming Witcher Netflix series. Did you see a picture of Geralt?
I got him side by side here, and I tell you what.
I don't think Henry Cavill looks like a Geralt.
No.
And, I mean, they're going to have to make him, like, grizzly. Like,
Yeah.
he's going to have to grow his hair out,
Yep.
get some gray going on, a
Yep.
beard.
Yep. Unless
some
they do.
scars.
Unless it's like the Witcher prequel. I could see.
I don't know anything about.
I could see that if they already have the video games, I could understand them doing a prequel series and having young Geralt of Rivia. You know, I could see that.
Yeah, because isn't there a Witcher 2?
There's like a Witcher 3.
There's a Witcher 3.
Yeah.
So maybe they could do kind of like what a Castlevania did and do a
Yeah.
story between all of the stories that have already happened
True.
with a different generation. But I mean, it is the character from the game. So it would have to be close
Right.
to the timeline, if not based on the game. I
Yeah.
don't know. All I saw was, is he going to have his unicorn? So apparently he rides a unicorn in the game.
The Witcher began as a series of short stories published in Poland by author Andrzej Sapkowski in the 1980s. The most recent novel, Seasons of Storms, was published in 2013. The series has been adapted into a popular video game franchise, as well as comic books and tabletop games.
That's also what I heard was, is it going to be based on the game, or is it going to be based on the book?
This article that I'm reading from Variety, which is pretty, I would believe everything they say, doesn't really say anything.
So we don't really know.
So it's kind of like, I'll give you the synopsis here, is that based on the best-selling fantasy series, The Witcher, follows Geralt of Rivia, a solitary monster hunter, as he struggles to find his place in a world where people often prove more wicked than beasts. That didn't make sense. But when destiny hurls him toward a powerful sorceress and a young princess with a dangerous secret, the three must learn to navigate the increasingly volatile continent together. I think it's going to be comic book. If I had to guess, why are you going to do a Netflix series about something that people already know about?
So if there's an original book, if there's a video game, and there's comic books, I would say it's loosely going to be delving its own timeline, its own story, but dipping between the three, taking things.
Okay. I can
If you
see
got
that.
that much stuff to take from, but you don't want to tell the same story over again, I would see that. I could see that.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that's kind of what Castlevania did.
Yeah.
You saw stuff in Castlevania that you knew from the prior video games or the story.
True.
But it wasn't the same story. So that's why I didn't know it was a book until I read the article. But yeah, I guess it was a book. So
I don't know.
Henry Cavill. I'm not a huge fan of Henry Cavill.
I like Henry Cavill. I hate to say it out loud
Everybody
because I don't
likes
know
him.
who's listening, but I kind of like him. I think that he did well in Man of Steel.
He's not a bad Superman.
And I think he does.
I
I,
don't
think
like
he did
Superman,
well in The
so.
Tudors. That's there was a show from
What was the one where he just had a bathroom fight?
Mission Impossible
Was that
Fallout.
Mission Impossible?
I haven't
He
seen
grows
that.
a beard within 1 second.
I haven't seen that, but I've heard the best Mission Impossible movie so far. So I don't know. I fucks with Henry Cavill.
You know what I think is weird?
What's that?
Is these actors, these bigger actors, coming to Netflix?
Yeah.
That was the first thing that hit me when I
How
read
much
it.
money is Netflix actually making if they can afford Henry Cavill for it's an 8-episode series. So you got to figure 43-minute episodes, 8 of them, kind of Marvel-y.
They're trying to get rid of the bloat that they had talked about priorly, where they said that they were trying to push 13 episodes, and everybody was saying that shows are drug out too long and you got too much filler in the middle. So they're trying to back them down to 8, 9.
The fucking Luke Cage season 1, that's
Right.
exactly what that fucking
So
is.
if you're gonna do that, then yes, definitely drop it down to 8.
Right.
And another thing is with the DC universe kind of on the kibosh, when are we gonna see Superman again?
Whew. Yeah, I mean, Man of Steel 2 had been talked about for the last 3 years. I don't know if we're going to get another Superman.
With Henry Cavill.
I don't know if we're going to... See, that's the thing about DC. They put all their chips on fucking Batman. Don't invest everything you fucking have in
on something
Batman
that's been done for the past
for
60
fucking
years.
ever. 1989, the first Batman Keaton movie.
Right.
Don't fucking... Like, you got Wonder Woman who made you more money than you could ever count, but you're still pushing Batman projects.
Oh, we're gonna get another trilogy for Batman. We're gonna get him in the Joker origin.
Yep.
We're gonna get him in this.
And they did, and I tell you what, DC has its moments. DC has its smart moments where they're like, okay, Suicide Squad sucked. Fuck that sequel.
No, they're doing this.
Are they?
Oh yeah.
Fuck.
That's already been filmed.
Ugh.
We're getting the sequel.
Bleh. I haven't heard anything about it. I thought it was just dead in the water.
That's because they already filmed it and it was in post-production, and there's definitely a date for it.
Gross.
A release date.
That's gross.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they just, I don't know. There's some smart moments, but then there's some dumb moments for DC. And
Justice League wasn't bad.
Justice League was fun.
It was fun in the first scene with Batman.
Yeah.
Was awesome.
Yeah.
If they gave me a Batman movie like that, I'd
Yep.
be
I
be
know.
down.
I know.
I don't know why they can't nail it. But
I don't know.
that just popped into my head was, when will we see another Superman with Henry Cavill? So he probably is a little like, okay, I'm getting out of the DC.
Yeah. I could see it.
He did Mission Impossible right after
Yep.
Justice League kind of flopped,
Yep.
and now he's going to Netflix.
Yeah.
So,
Good for him. Keep
but
it
it's
up.
just it is a little weird that these bigger stars are kind of dropping down to the Netflix and the cable, because I mean, we're in the golden age of cable right now.
Yeah.
We're in the golden age of TV shows, I should say.
Agreed.
Movies are struggling and trying to find a place where they don't flop, or they either make a gajillion dollars or they make no money.
Right.
TV is some of the best stuff we've had ever.
Yeah.
So I don't blame a lot of these stars for crossing over
No.
to the line. It's probably a better paycheck, more steady paycheck anyway, you know.
Agreed.
But yeah, I'm not sure when we'll see another Superman.
Hey, do you like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like him? So, it was announced last week that he's getting ready to do another movie. Another one.
Dragon, rock the dragon, Ball Z. No,
I love
Dragon
that.
Ball Z.
I love that. When I sent that to you, I
I
was
didn't
like,
mean anything about Dragon Ball Z when I sent you that message.
oh.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I just said, so he's a character named Kamehameha who, I mean, Kamehameha in Japanese means fast turtle. I know that from the anime.
Kamehameha.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I said.
Yeah.
Kamehameha.
Kamehameha.
Same thing. It's just the longer version. But it means quick or fast turtle.
Yeah.
Which, once you said about the king of Hawaii, I
Right.
did know that. It's just not what popped into my head when I read it.
Ah. So, there you go. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson will star as King Kamehameha in a movie directed by Robert fucking Zemeckis.
My personal favorite director of
Yeah.
all time. There is not a bad Zemeckis film out
No.
there.
Agreed.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Not me.
Back to the Future? He was
Okay.
involved with Goonies?
So, King Kamehameha was the founder and first ruler of the Kingdom of Hawaii. Now, I feel like this fucking movie is going to be like Wonder Woman meets Skyscraper meets
San Andreas.
San Andreas meets Joe versus the volcano.
There you
Like,
go.
I feel like that's what we're going to get. And I'm super excited for
I'm
it.
excited. I'm not sure what it's going to be about.
It's probably going to be about him uniting the Hawaiian Islands as to one kingdom.
Okay. Because I don't know anything about how the Hawaiian Islands became a thing. I
Okay.
mean, I know how they became a geological thing, but
Right.
not a state.
Right.
Is it going to be about them becoming a state of the United States, or did that happen way, way, way before?
Well, Hawaii became a state in the 50s.
Okay, so this
Kamehameha-
is way, way before.
Kamehameha died in, I got it right here, 1819.
Okay.
So it's probably going to be about white people trying to claim Hawaii, but the Hawaiian Islands banding together to fight the white people.
Okay.
And I think that sounds amazing.
Yeah. Is Dwayne Johnson Hawaiian?
Samoan.
Is he Samoan?
Yep.
Okay. Because he played in Moana. He
Yeah.
did the voice for the dude.
For,
in Moana.
yeah, what was his name?
I never watched it.
I didn't either.
And once I heard this, I was like, okay, so he's getting pushed into a lot of those roles with that race.
Right.
Well, I didn't know if he was actually.
He is Samoan.
That's cool.
Right. Yeah. His
Makes
grandfather and his grandfather was Samoan, which means his mother was Samoan. His father was African American, so that's where he's a little mixy. But definitely Samoan. Definitely embraces his heritage.
Awesome.
And
I feel like any king. I don't know why. This is just me picturing in my head. I feel like the king of Hawaii had to have been pretty heavy. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm picturing Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in my head. And
I think
like,
he's gonna
have to put on some pounds.
I think it's gonna be a ripped up version of King Kamehameha.
He's gonna be beating the shit out of people rather than the tubby, realistic version.
Right.
Because that's the first I pictured in my head was this like heavier set Hawaiian dude.
Yeah.
I mean Hawaiians in general, the men are bigger dudes.
Yeah.
Like that's just their genetics.
Right. Yeah. Even Samoans are very big. Tongans are very big. They're all Fijians are very big. It's a very big race.
And The Rock's big, but he's ripped.
Oh, he's jacked
he's gotta
up.
kind of like.
He's got to just pack on some poundage.
Get some pudge.
So, and then we also found out some really cool...
This is weird, man.
Yeah.
This came out of nowhere. I didn't even know this was going to be a thing.
So in the movie, or not in the movie, in the video that Mr. Sunday Movies did this week, he talked about reboots. And he talked about everything getting rebooted and redone. And he decidedly just quickly...
And then literally 10 seconds after that, I saw about 4 videos
about
that.
So quickly he said that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is set to be in a reboot, remake, continuation,
It's going to be a sequel.
Oh, that's right. It is going to be a sequel to Big Trouble in Little China. One of the craziest cult classic movies
Rest
ever.
in peace, Patrick Swayze.
Yeah. Kurt Russell.
Is that Kurt Russell?
It is Kurt Russell. Yeah, so he could do it.
My whole life just got turned upside down.
He could still do it because he's still alive.
I thought Patrick Swayze was in...
Nope. So, I love Big Trouble in Little China. It's directed by John Carpenter, so that you already know that it's great. Starring Kurt Russell. I mean, and if you haven't seen it, what the hell's your problem?
Kurt Russell is a phenomenal actor.
Yep. Big talking rough and tumble truck driver Jack Burton wins a bet with his restaurant owner friend Wang Chi. To make sure he follows through on payment, Jack accompanies him to the airport to pick up Wang's Chinese fiancée, and it just goes on from there. And it just gets crazy. So,
what about the Robot Chicken skit?
Oh yeah.
Like, this way to China, mister. Oh.
In June 2015, The Wrap reported that Dwayne Johnson was developing a remake to star as Jack Burton, and there you go. So, and then in an interview with Entertainment Weekly, Johnson expressed interest in having Carpenter involved in the film. Blah, blah, blah. Carpenter said maybe. So here we go. By August 27, 2018, Seven Bucks Productions president Hiram Garcia, which Seven Bucks Production is Dwayne Johnson's own production company, clarified that the film will be a sequel and a continuation of the previous film.
Nice.
The creative minds behind the new film acknowledge that they have no intention of recasting Dwayne Johnson as Jack Burton, but will make a follow-up movie to the original. So they didn't want to recast that iconic role of Jack Burton, so they said, fuck it, we'll make a sequel continuation.
And that's better.
And that's so much better.
Yeah.
So
100%.
much better.
I'm tired of reboots.
Yeah.
Like, get a little creative. If you
Yeah.
want to continue a good franchise from
Like
the 80s.
Blade Runner. Just do what Blade Runner just did.
Yeah.
And you
I
could
literally
have...
just watched Blade Runner again
Yeah.
like 2 nights ago.
And you could
and
have
Courtney was
Dwayne
like,
Johnson's
what the
character...
fuck's going on? And I'm like, this is amazing.
You could have Dwayne Johnson's character search out Kurt Russell's Jake Burton to help him out. And
And
that
I
would be amazing.
guarantee Kurt Russell would be down.
Oh, fuck yeah. Kurt
What is
Russell...
he doing?
He seems like one of the coolest dudes in Hollywood. Like, he's just down to have a good time.
Yeah, I mean, he just does movies.
Agreed.
Look at Soldier.
Look at Soldier.
Hey, don't you talk bad about
Okay.
Soldier.
I won't.
Soldier is a fantastic movie.
I know.
And it's in the Blade Runner universe,
I know.
says me.
7 o'clock. I don't know why I just said that.
Is it 7 o'clock?
No, it's not. I meant to say $7 production company.
6:42.
$7 production company, which I mean that's
Did they just
when
do
you
the,
own
did they just do the movie he was in?
Skyscraper,
Not Skyscraper.
Jungle Cruise, Jumanji.
No. Rampage.
Oh, Rampage. Yeah, they've done all of them
Okay.
because it's his production company. He was like, he's so smart. He goes,
He's so smart.
Fuck you
if
guys.
I do enough, I'll make money.
I'll make my own movies and do what I want to do
And you know what's
because
funny
I
is
have
these-
my own production
These movies
company.
don't make a ball ton of money, but they make money.
Yeah.
Like, they
And
make
they're
money
fun and they're
because people
campy.
are curious.
They're campy.
When
It's-
Rampage was announced, you can't tell me that a lot of people were like,
yeah.
I gotta see this.
Yeah.
Even if it's not good, I gotta see this.
Jumanji
Jumanji 2.
made a fuck
Which I
ton
heard
of
Jumanji
money.
2 is actually well received, and
Yeah,
they're going to make
it made
a third.
Yeah, they're already making a third. Jungle Cruise, which he's filming right now, is supposed to be a really good movie.
Skyscraper, I haven't heard dick about since it came out.
I know.
I
Yeah.
heard that he doesn't have a real leg.
He plays an amputee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not know that when I was watching the trailer, but I did hear it after it came out.
Yeah. Do you know where that name $7 production company came from?
Because he probably only had $7.
Exactly. After he got cut from the Canadian Football League, after he left college, he only had $7 in his pocket, and then he went on to become a professional wrestler. And now, he's a fucking megastar. So hey, I'm all about a sequel to Big Trouble in Little China.
I am all
I'm
about
all
that, too.
about it starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
I'm down.
I'm all about it. I love this
As
idea.
long as you get Kurt Russell to come back.
I know, right?
I'm down.
I know. It's got to be like that Harrison Ford Blade Runner kind of thing. It's got to be fucking cool, man. Hey, we got one more topic, baby.
Let's get wild and weird.
Let's talk about some weird shit.
John and Josh Silberman are writing a new film titled Coyote vs. Acme, which will feature Roadrunner's nemesis, Wile E. Coyote, as the lead for a Warner Brothers film. Roadrunner will be out of the big picture for this movie. The producers, Chris McKay, who directed the Lego Batman movie,
I love that movie.
see great potential in the Wile E. Coyote character. Okay, so that answered one of my biggest questions. This is a Venom
Yeah.
without Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're doing right now.
So we're going to have a Wile E. Coyote movie
Yeah.
without the Roadrunner.
Yeah. Okay, so here's my problem. Wile E. Coyote doesn't talk.
He doesn't do a lot of things.
No, he doesn't do shit. He spends a godly amount of money on shit that doesn't work.
He spends his money, or I don't even know where he gets money. He doesn't have a job.
Right, because he's
He
catching
gets
that
stuff
Roadrunner
off
all the
of
time.
Acme
Yeah.
to kill the Roadrunner to eat him.
Yeah,
That's his premises.
right.
So you're telling me you're going to make a full-length feature film based on this character not going after the Roadrunner, but against the Acme company, I'm assuming, for all the years of faulty equipment. Everything he's ever gotten from Acme has backfired.
Is it going to be live action? Is it going to be animated? Do we know anything about that?
According to the comingsoon.net, the film will feature Wile E. Coyote stepping aside from his lifelong pursuit of the Roadrunner to get his revenge on Acme. Within the various Wile E. Coyote and Runner shorts, the Coyote's gadgets always came from Acme. Inevitably, the gadgets have always failed, leaving the Coyote humiliated and injured. Now it's time for some payback. Following the 1996's Space Jam and 2003's Looney Tunes Back in Action,
I remember both of those.
his would be the third theatrical Looney Tunes film. No release date for Coyote vs. Acme has been announced yet, and no further information.
So if they're following Space Jam and Looney
So I
Tunes
would
Back
assume
in Action...
Acme's probably going to be a, real-life company.
Yeah. I think, because Looney Tunes Back in Action was Brendan Fraser hanging out with the Looney Tunes gang.
Not the girl from Friends. We've established that on a prior podcast.
Right.
Because I said it was, and you said that I was wrong.
You are wrong. Always. I just don't... I guess it's going to be live action. And I had a conversation 2 days ago about when the last good live-action crossover animation movie was. Yeah.
There were such good ones back in the day.
Right.
Do you remember Osmosis Jones?
Oh, yeah.
That was I think that was the last good. Was Space Jam after Osmosis Jones? No. Osmosis Jones was after. So
Oh, yeah.
Osmosis Jones was probably our last good animated live-action crossover.
I mean... Oh...
What? Smurfs?
No, I hated that
Garfield?
movie. No, I hated that movie.
Exactly.
I don't know. I have to do some research. But, I can't definitively say that Osmosis Jones was the last good one. Can't do it. But, what I can say is that I don't agree with that synopsis where they say that Acme's products always failed.
They do.
No, it's not like Wile E. Coyote doesn't fuck up himself. It's not like it's all the products'
It
fault.
is the products. His rockets will shoot backwards. His things won't light correctly.
When he holds an anvil and steps off of a cliff, that's not the anvil's fault.
I don't know if you've watched any Wile E. Coyote cartoons in a while, but it's definitely Acme's fault. It's 100% Acme's fault that he hasn't caught the Roadrunner. And you know what I just thought of
What?
that would make this movie fantastic?
What's that?
Was if after the entire movie of Wile E. Coyote trying to take down the Acme Corporation and constantly getting humiliated and effed over, Roadrunner is running the Acme Corporation. Like, he's the CEO, sending the products to him to backfire to catch him.
Right. Huh.
He's the evil genius behind the entire thing.
I don't know.
No, this movie's gonna suck.
This movie's gonna suck. This movie's gonna be a big pile of shite.
Warner Brothers has no effing idea what to do anymore.
I know,
They
right?
have no idea. They're
It
effing
seems
up
that
DC.
way.
They're throwing all their Looney Tune characters into the DC comic book universe because they have no money and they don't know what to do.
Right.
They're now making feature films for characters that don't have their main... you don't even have to pay an actor. It's not even like one of those scenarios.
Yeah.
Okay, Disney owns Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Well, but they're in a contract with Disney, so they can't put him in the Venom movie.
Right.
That makes sense, business-wise.
Yeah.
Not putting your own cartoon character in your own cartoon movie doesn't make sense.
Not even a little bit.
Just to come out right and say, we are not putting Roadrunner in this Coyote film.
That's like we have a movie called Peanut Butter and jelly won't be in it. I don't get it.
That's like making a Peanuts movie and not putting Charlie Brown in it.
Right. Like, here's Lucy starring in a Peanuts movie.
Right, that is exactly what it is. We're going to make a Peanuts movie, but focused on Lucy.
Yeah. Who the fuck wants to watch that?
No one.
Nobody.
And I like Wile E. Coyote.
Who doesn't?
But I like him for what he does.
Right.
And you're taking that one thing away.
Yeah.
The one specific thing that you made his cartoons for.
Yeah.
You're taking it away.
Yeah.
I mean, the Acme part of it is funny. Yes. Him getting the gadgets.
Yeah.
He literally pulls them out of the package, sets them up. That's half the cartoon.
When I was growing up out in New Jersey, the local grocery store was Acme.
Really?
Yeah, no
way.
joke. Grocery stores out in the East Coast, there's Acme grocery stores. And I always, when I was a kid, I was always like, that's so
Going to
fucking
the
cool.
Acme store.
Yeah, I'll go to the Acme store. And I just don't get it. Like, you're going to have the big wig of Acme as an evil person, like Mark Strong? Like, I would love to see Mark Strong in that role, of course.
Yeah, like, is Acme out to get Wile E. Coyote, or are they just a bad company making bad products?
If that's the case, it should be Wayne Knight as the president. Get Newman as the president of Acme if they're just making shitty
like,
products.
he's just an evil corporate kind of guy making shitty products to make money.
I don't quite remember Looney Tunes Back in Action, but how did
I don't
they
know if I ever saw it.
come into the real world? Because we all know how they did it in Space Jam. Or no.
Through a
yeah,
golf hole.
Through the golf hole. Right. How is that? I don't know.
I don't know anything about Back in Action. I always thought that Back in Action was the sequel to Space Jam.
Okay.
But now, since we're getting the sequel to Space Jam, and they're saying that Back in Action isn't a sequel to Space Jam, I kind of got confused. So now you're saying that you're coming out with another animated / live action Looney Tunes movie that is in the same universe as all those other movies, but none of them are sequels. None of the, like, you're not attaching any of them. Is, like, Bugs Bunny gonna make a cameo and be like, hey, you remember when we won that basketball game?
Yeah.
And Wile E. Coyote's gonna say nothing because he doesn't speak.
Yeah, he doesn't speak.
I always hated.
Okay, hold on. Let me get you a little Disney or Looney Tunes Back in Action. The plot follows Daffy Duck and Bugs Bunny as they help aspiring daredevil Damian Drake, played by Brendan Fraser, and Warner Brothers executive Kate Houghton, played by Jenna Elfman, find the Blue Monkey Diamond in order to prevent the evil Mr. Chairman of Acme Corporation from using it to turn mankind into monkeys that will manufacture his products.
Okay, so...
Mr. Chairman is played by Steve Martin.
Whoa. So if we're getting a sequel to Back in Action, we're getting a Steve Martin running Acme
I think so.
against Coyote.
Brendan Fraser's dad, who they're trying to rescue, is played by Timothy Dalton. What is this movie?
It was not a good movie. That's why.
All right, so... Oh, that's it. Budget 80 million, box office 68.5.
Oh, but and they're doing it again.
And they're doing it again. Get ready for that fucking same shit. I don't get it. All right, so yeah, I don't care. Wile E. Coyote.
Wile E. Coyote. His name's Wile.
I know.
His name's Wile.
Wile.
Not Wiley, like I always said.
Yeah.
It's
Wile E. Coyote.
What's his
the
middle
E
name?
stand
Emmerich?
for? Emmerich?
Emmert.
Emmett?
Emmett.
I bet.
Wile Emmett Coyote.
Wile Emmett. Yeah, I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, man.
This has been the Strange Planet Podcast. We have been your hosts. This has been
Corey James.
And I've been
Anthony Zevoteck.
Have a strange day. YouTube, keep doing you.